So tell me about your songwriting. As open as you are, the songs seem obviously extremely personal, and I feel like, can you tell me about your process of songwriting? Because I feel like there's, again, I get a lot of those questions, about how do you write songs, and I can tell you how I do it, but I'm really curious, like where is the inspiration? How much do you pull from outside? How much do you pull from inside? And where is your true spot?
So so where I am now, for instance, so we've been writing on for the last year and a half, I think, for this new record. There's no date for it or anything like that, but we've been writing, and the process is, and this is how it's always been. I will probably write 150 to 200 demo ideas that I'll create at home. I produce here on Ableton is what I usually use. Before it was Logic, and before that it was GarageBand when I was like 12. And I started doing this when I was about 11 or 12 years old. We had Cakewalk, actually was the program that I started on. And just watched my brother do it over his shoulder, taught myself kind of to do, hit record, what's a compressor, okay, what's an EQ, how does that work, like all those things. And then it just became my diary since I was young. I have written a stupid amount of demos, like over 1,000 and I'm not saying this is 1,000 good songs. This is like, to me, it's like a journal entry. I see it the same way. It's like I'll sit down, and it was very cathartic for me, especially when I was in really bad bouts of depression. I'd sit down, create a landscape. So it'd either be keys. I got piano lessons from 6 to 16, so I had like 10 years of piano training, and then or guitar. So it's always one or the other. So chords, simple chords, and melody and lyric, and then I would make the song and I'd show it to my dad always, and he was really the one that I was always trying to impress or share kind of this part of me. All the rest of my brothers, it's like, they're all just like, you're my little brother making music. I don't want to hear what you're doing. Which I understand now. And my mom was just, she was busy. So I did that, and I do the exact same thing today. So I write almost every day. So today, I have a session that I brought up on Ableton. I just started creating a song. And then when it comes time for the record, we'll get together as a band. And every time I write a song now, I email it to everybody, so they all have it. Sometimes Wayne will send me a track that he's been working on at his house. He's our guitarist. He'll send it to me now. And he's done it for a long time, since the beginning of the band. He's been a big producer for the band, and I'll sing on his songs. And then the other way also is now Daniel Platzman, our drummer, for the last 2 records has really gotten into producing, and he'll send me songs and I'll write to those as well. So at the end of the day, we have about 200 tracks. Everybody has been listening to them for about 2 years, and the good ones kind of just stay. Like, you get tired of some, you think one's good at this beginning, and then it ends up being really shitty. One that you didn't like that much kind of gets better over time. So we sit with it for about a year and a half. This is the longest we've gone between records, so 2 years. And then everybody makes a list of their favorite 20 to 30, and then we get in a studio together, and everybody just kind of tears apart the song and puts it back together. And then also on every record, we have had a producer that has come in and help us sort through the songs. And I feel bad for every one of these producers, because they have to listen to literally 200 demos, which is ridiculous. And then sometimes I'll write a couple songs with them that will make the record, and this will be at the end of the record cycle. So it's just, that's kind of the gist of it. This is where I do all my music, right here. I literally have my keyboard right here, a little guitar over there, compressor, EQ, just like the basics. And then all my synths that I work with. And you can do a lot of drum programming beforehand, and then we'll get into the studio and add real instruments.
And then I tell everybody, like I'll get things like, what do you do with writer's block, whatever. And I always, my go-to response is, I don't really get that, because to me, it's a thinker's problem. Like I pick up a guitar, I'll just come up with the song right now, but I don't edit, so it sounds like you're doing that too. So can you talk about the editor? Like when you start editing and how that fucks everything up?
I hate it. I hate the studio at the end every time. It's the part of music I never enjoy. I mean, I do this every day, not because I have to do this for record. We could get together and write 10 songs. It probably wouldn't be great. But for me, I don't enjoy that. I don't really even enjoy working in a group setting, to be honest with you. I really enjoy being by myself in a room, and I don't self-edit at all. I'll start an idea. If it's terrible, I will see it through to the end. Sometimes I'll scrap it in the very early stages, but once I'm in it halfway, I finish it always, and I'll do it every day. And I don't go out of the room until I finish it. My wife knows this, and she hates it because she'll come in and be like, you haven't eaten, or you need to go do this. And I'm like, I just got to finish this idea. And if I don't, then I'm just way OCD. And it's like, it feels like I'm incomplete for the rest of the day until I finish the idea.
I just wanted to touch base on, okay, so you guys are working on this album. Have you had like a favorite producer that you've worked with that you felt like was the most gel? Or do you keep changing producers to evolve, or like where are you at with it? Do you feel like you need a producer?
Our second record, we really self-produced for the most part. We did almost every song on it. Alex the Kid did 2 songs, I think, on that record. And it's one of my favorite records. It performed the least well of all our records. It was following up Night Visions, which was this ginormous record. And then we said, okay, well, let's self-produce this next record. And there's something I like about both. I don't know. I think somewhere in the middle is probably best for us. I think we need some guide and direction of somebody who says, especially at this point, because there are egos, that is very helpful to have someone who says, hey, look, I have no skin in the game. This is just good and this is bad. And then people can agree or disagree, but I think that leadership actually is helpful at this point because of all the years. But on the same note, we self-produce so much always beforehand that it's not like it's going to sound like us no matter what at the end of the day, because we come in with 200 songs and we narrow it down to 20 and then we get a producer in there. So long story short, I've had good experiences with every producer we've worked with. Alex the Kid, Joel Little, Matt Man and Robin, John Hill, everybody I've worked with, I've really enjoyed, and it's all done a different product. So it definitely influences the music in a way. I don't know how it's going to go with this record. Cause like I said, we have 200 songs. This is more than we've ever had. And it's definitely an evolution of sound. So I don't want to change where we are, cause I feel good about it, but.
So you think this could be a self-production?
It might, because this has just been a strange time. I've lost 3 close friends in the last year. One of which was my sister-in-law. It was like it's been a really emotional year for me, a really rewarding year. I got back with my wife after we were split up for a year. That was super hard. I was in a really dark place. So I've been through a lot, and I'm also, I've been really happy though in a lot of ways. So I have a newborn baby. It's just like there was a lot that happened in my life, and I think that breeds good music, or at least honest music. So.